portion of our meeting. This is a period of time that the board sets aside to hear from the public. We ask the public if they wish to address us to please state your name, a brief description of the topic that you would like to discuss, and then provide the same information on the sheet that's listed over on the table. It is suggested that speakers limit their comments to no longer than 5 minutes, and speakers may comment on any matter related to district business or any agenda item. So, would anybody like to speak? If not, then we'll move on to the technology coordinator report. We have Mr. Dow and Mr. Ballou here, and we're looking forward to hearing from you. So thank you.
Thank you very much. So I did forward 2 documents through Mrs. Angelopoulos. The first is an agenda to kind of frame the topics that I'm going to discuss tonight. And the second was a one-page look at kind of a Gantt chart of the strategic goal number 5 having to do with technology. Okay. But I'd like to start with an introduction of Joseph Ballou. Joe joined us in January of this year as a 5-day-a-week technician, computer technician, replacing our BOCES technicians, which were only available to help in the district 2 days a week. So Joe, I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
Hi everyone, if everyone hasn't met me yet, I'm Joe, new guy here. I just wanted to say thank you. I've been tremendously grateful to be able to do this work up here, hone my skills as a technician, and to get a chance to work on some really challenging and some things that seem really helpful as well. And so I just wanted to say thank you for that, and I'm really glad to be here.
Joe actually did an internship here 5 years ago when he was doing an internship with BOCES. So it was kind of a little bit like coming home.
It's good to be back.
You know, speaking for, I think the faculty, I know the administrators, myself, I'm very pleased with Joe's knowledge and how quickly he's learned our systems, and also his initiative and willingness to get in there with teachers and work with them on what they need. So it's a very nice asset to the district. So I wanted to give you a quick update on our Smart Schools Bond Act. As you know, that's my last report. That's $250,000 through the New York State Education Department, targeted towards an upgrade of our security system and classroom technology. There are 5 steps in the approval of the Smart Schools Bond Act. The first one is our initial review, which took place in October when we submitted the plan, and then a program area review, where, because ours involved both educational design and technology and facilities planning, those 2 sections of State Education Department had to approve it. And that's been approved. So now we sit at the expenditure review, where they go through and take a look at the actual items we're purchasing. And I would expect they come back to us because some of those items are no longer even available. And we'll spend some time revising the budgets. After that, it goes to a review board, and then the state kind of groups about 60 of them that are waiting for approval together, and they wait to have a review board meeting and then approve them all. It seems to, I find it a cumbersome process. As I understand it, there are only 3 people at State Ed that are working in this department to review these. So on the one hand, I'm frustrated by the slowness of the pace. On the other hand, it's $250,000 of money that we get to invest in our students and our infrastructure that doesn't cost our taxpayers any money. So while it's taking longer than I would like, it's still progressing and moving forward, and hopefully we'll have some resolution by the end of the school year. So I wanted to frame the bulk of my comments tonight having to do with the school board strategic plan and their goal number 5 for technology, which we have up here on the board. As part of the Smart Schools Bond Act, very much framed a number of our initiatives for the Smart Schools Bond Act based upon this document, which I created based on the overall strategic plan. I wanted to briefly discuss and touch on a number of these points. Now, this came into effect when the school board wrote the strategic plan back in, I believe, the spring of 2014 and the fall of 2014. So now, on the Gantt chart, we're kind of over into the spring or January of 17, April of 17. So about 3/4 of the way into the project. And I wanted to give you an update on each of these. And the first is introduce and expand Google Classroom district-wide. We actually provide a Google address to every third grader in this district. So we have Google Docs and Google Classroom being used by 8-year-olds and their teachers, which I find very exciting. And then I continue to use in 4th and 5th grade in the technology department. Over 50% of our teachers use either Google Docs or Google Classroom or some combination of the two. Many of those teachers in the middle and high school level use it on a weekly basis. It's part of the way they do their assignments. And we've also had 3 educators that wanted to educate themselves more about how to use it in an educational setting and have gone on their own to get Google certified, level 1 and level 2 certification for Google educators, which is very nice. So I think we range from the teachers that use it very frequently with their classes to those people that use it in a different way. At the elementary school, we submit different forms to the administration, and people at the middle high schools, use it as their administrators, have them submit different forms, and so they start to see the use of it, and our goal is to expand on it, but I'm pretty happy with how much it is used currently. Goal number 2 was to create a dedicated electronic device loan program. And that was to be in place starting in September or January of 2016. While we don't have 10 Chromebooks in the library that can be signed out by students, I have worked with our educational leave coordinator to make sure that any student that needs technology while they're on an educational leave, they'll be able to have it. By and large, it hasn't really come up as an issue yet, but we are prepared to address the situation should it arise. Teachers will use technology to promote student-centered learning. I see that happening pretty much at every level. I see kindergarten teachers using technology on a daily basis. Whether it's not just doing attendance, but it's with students, so it's projecting things, it's using what's on the computer and showing the students and talking about it, straight up through 12th grade. I think the use of technology has become very pervasive in the classroom. All you have to do to see that is ask a teacher for their laptop for the day because you got to do some work on it. They're lost without it, right? So they're structuring very nice activities. Number 4 says to create and maintain a repository of technology-rich, grade-specific, and subject-specific lessons and projects. Through this series of 2-day-a-week texts, we were researching how we could accommodate this, how we could store the data in a retrievable format. And frankly, just through the influx or the changing of our BOCES technicians, we never really had time to get down to it. If I went to every middle school team and I asked them to lay out over the course of the year 5 or 10 activities that they do with technology, they'd be able to do that in a second because they're using it all the time. And the same for our high school social studies department, our high school English department, and certainly our math department and our science department. So while we don't have a repository, it's happening. That's certainly one of the goals that Joe and I will investigate into how we create that repository and work with teachers to start to enter some of the information. So, number 5 is to formalize the district's current technology collaboration efforts. And that was to identify a technology integration specialist and time available for classroom support. So starting in this past September, I'm on a 6-day schedule at the elementary school. So for 3 days out of the 6, I teach 6 classes a day. And then the other 3 days in my schedule, I'm available to work with teachers in both buildings. Not only on technology triage and on problem solving different issues that come up, but also working with teachers in classroom projects. Provide every student access to a district-owned online laptop or tablet, or bring your own device. We do have a bring your own device policy in the district, and we see that at the middle high school with students that are bringing in laptops or bringing in Chromebooks or bringing in phones. Okay. But to highlight the extent to which our process of one-to-one has not been to say, Mrs. Dietrich, here's your Chromebook for the year.